Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Screen Scene Guru, and today I'll be discussing some movie news and TV updates that I've recently heard about. So let's get started with this. Going on to my notes real quick, we've heard that Margaret Qualley and Audrey Plaza will be reprising their performances. They will be showing up again in another movie after Honey Don't, which wasn't very successful at the box office, unfortunately. Another film is being produced by the same directing team called Go Beavers. And this one is going to be about them being in a women's sports team in college. They are, of course, in a relationship. It's part of the lesbian rom-coms they are coming out with, which I am a big fan of. But it sounds like their team is going to be slowly murdered, which is leading to their discovering of who the murderer is. Sounds a lot like Yellow Jackets, the script for this movie, so I'm really excited about that. Going into some other movie news, we've also got Jim Carrey has recently been casted in the live-action The Jetsons movie as George Jetson. We haven't heard yet about who his family will play, but the fact that Jim Carrey is attached, really awesome news to hear about that, because we all assumed he was going to retire after the Sonic films, but it seems like those films revitalized his career, so that's really good news. Also, we got Hugh Jackman's Wolverine will stay on after Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, even potentially, with this new contract deal being released to the public. Seems like we're going to get a lot more Hugh Jackman in the future, so that's really cool. I did want to talk about world news real quick. Over the last couple weeks, we did see the hostages, the living hostages from Israel, Gaza, returned home safely to the families. Really great to hear about that. But of course, the Israeli operations in Gaza continue. They cite that their soldiers were shot at and killed, and that's why they have to keep dropping bombs. We really need these wars to come to an end, guys, and we need to come together as one people and try to stop the governments from slaughtering innocents. So that's a real big topic I just wanted to bring up real quick. Also, Alaska had really bad floods just in the last few days after a big storm hit the coast of Alaska. They're really flat, so the waves went way inland, affecting the indigenous people and all the little settlement tribes that they've been trying to build back, because they had a flood just a year ago that was really bad that went inland, and now they're being evacuated here to the States, to like Nebraska and other places. So I did want to give a big shout out to all our Alaskan brothers and sisters. They are Americans, so a lot of people were wondering on social media, why are Alaskans being brought over to the United States? Well, it's because they are part of the United States and they are going through natural disaster, so we're helping them. Really good reviews for Splinter Cell Death Watch on Netflix. That's a video game adaptation. It is an anime on Netflix that I've heard really good things about. I haven't played the games, guys, so I'm not really too versed in the storyline. It's kind of like Call of Duty. But I've heard that the Netflix viewership are so high that it has been renewed for season 2. So that is really good news. And then Masters of the Universe reportedly bigger than the Barbie set. So that's a very interesting story that I've recently heard. The people on set over at Warner Brothers have been checking out the lots, and the fact that they're boasting about this being bigger than Barbie, which that made $1 billion in 2023. So that was a pretty big production. Nobody expected it to make $1 billion, but they put a lot of money into it. So going on from movie news real quick, I do want to have a UAP segment because I do want to talk about fascinating things happening with 3i Atlas. So going on, telepathy program is going on with a few experts in the field. On November 21st, Age of Disclosure is going to be coming out. So just next month, we finally got the Cannes Film Festival film that they played earlier in the year. For audiences, it's going to be released to the world on Prime Amazon. So that's very interesting because right around the end of October, we're going to be getting the closest 3i Atlas is to our star. It's going to be behind our star, and we're not going to be able to view it with any cameras or anything. But it's very interesting that the end of this month, we're getting 3i Atlas swinging past our star after making a pass by the moon and Mars and Jupiter. Top political people are now coming out, like Marco Rubio, in these extended clips. They're talking about, our airspace is not safe and that we need to have something to watch out for our skies, just like Avi Loeb is saying we need a scale of interstellar objects, which is very interesting. Guillermo del Toro is talking about how Frankenstein is not doing so well, apparently from the critics' side. They did put a bit of a sexual overtone in the story, similar to Rocky Horror, which I was kind of surprised that they were going to do that, because I think Guillermo del Toro has a bit of a problem where he tries to modernize his stories, where the original Frankenstein story, it was perfect, it was great, and he tried to make it a little bit more like Nosferatu, and make it a little bit more spicier, so that's very interesting. I'm hearing that the performances are all really good. Oscar Isaac as Victor was really good. Mia Goth was in the film. And then, of course, Jacob Elordi plays the creature, Frankenstein. And I heard they all play really well. It's just some of the overtones of the film are a bit off. Eric Davis had a slideshow about transportation of history. PSI, which is very interesting, psychic projection to other places and downloading information. This is very similar to the government work that they have released classified information on. Coleman Domingo was cast as the Cowardly Lion for this upcoming Wicked for Good, and a lot of people are speculating he might have some lines of dialogue if they're casting such a big name actor to do a voice role for the Cowardly Lion. He's probably going to have a big role to play. Even though we didn't think Dorothy, Tin Man, Lion, Toto, they really had much to do with this story, because it's supposed to be a prequel to Wizard of Oz, but now they're introducing these characters in Wicked, so that's pretty good. Chad Powers, writer, claims Glenn Powell will be a good Nova. This recently came out last couple of days with Chad Powers hitting it on Hulu and doing pretty well for viewership numbers. These sports TV shows typically do very well when they first come out, and they kind of sizzle off a few weeks down the line. Well, Chad Powers is still rocking it in the viewers, so that's really cool. We also heard recently over the last few days that Simu Liu from Marvel and other things has confirmed there is going to be a Watch Dogs TV show. The script is apparently done for Watch Dogs, which is really cool. I like that game. Prison Break had its 20th anniversary, and they've confirmed Hulu is going to reboot the series, and they're going to get a whole new young cast for Prison Break, so that's kind of funny. I loved watching that show back in the day. Even Captain Cold and Heat from Legends of Tomorrow. I love that they kept those actors casted as brothers. That was kind of funny in CW that they got straight from the Prison Break boys to Legends of Tomorrow and The Flash, Green Arrow. So that was really cool. But going into a little bit of movie news and coverage, guys. I've got, let's see, Fantastic Four, which I've watched. I've seen all the way through. I think it's fantastic. I haven't gotten into the bonus features just yet, because there are quite a few of them. But I'll give you guys a bit of a dialogue. Set against the vibrant backdrop of the 1960s, inspired the retro futuristic world of Marvel's first family is introduced as they face a daunting challenge, forced to balance their roles as heroes and as a family bond. They must defend the Earth from a ravenous space god and his enigmatic herald. And if this wasn't bad enough, things get very personal. So, bonus features, they've got Meet the First Family, Fantastic Futurism, Far Beyond and Far Below, audio commentary and gag reels, deleted scenes. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be checking this out. It was rated PG-13. It didn't make too much money in the box office this year, but I was waiting until physical media drop, and I got it. I got the cardboard slipcase as well. It has a little bit of a 3D kind of effect on the front, which is kind of cool. I normally don't collect the cardboard slipcovers, but if there's some kind of special design, and this was a long time wait for this release, didn't come out till the month of October, so very glad to get that. I think that going into my review real quick, guys, for Fantastic Four, Galactus was great. I loved that they had the $80 Galactus popcorn bucket. I didn't get that one. The Herald was great. Silver Surfer, Shia LaBeouf. I think she's fantastic. She was also an actress in Weapons this year, another big hit in horror. But the whole family was great. I loved Reed, Pedro Pascal. I loved Johnny Storm, Sue, Ben. I felt like they gave Johnny a lot to do in this film because he was, edging Reed on to go back to space. He wanted to do more exploration. They ended up having to go to space to bargain with Galactus, which was very similar to the scene from the first Doctor Strange where he had to bargain with Dormammu. I thought it was interesting that, their kid, Franklin Richards, played such a pivotal role. I kind of wish they'd explained his powers a bit more because they kind of just set up that he's going to take on the responsibility of Galactus. And that when, spoilers here, guys, towards the end of the film, Sue is taking on Galactus and pushing him through a portal, and it's too much for her, and she dies, apparently, in battle, which they've done this before. If you guys remember Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, Sue died in that film as well, and Silver Surfer revived her. So they've done this trope before, but it's very interesting that, this time they have Franklin Richards, the baby. They placed the baby on her chest, and he revived Sue, and she even said he's more than us, he's beyond, basically, which we don't know what that means. Similar to the Beyonder, or maybe, one of these other heroes that has cosmic powers and aren't quite, recognizable. But I really like the film. Great post-credit with Doom showing up. I kind of wish you'd seen Doom's face, but they kind of allude that Franklin Richards is, touching Doom under the mask to heal his scars, maybe. So that'd be really cool to see if that is, in fact, the case. But let me know what you guys think of all this movie news topic stuff. Let me know what you guys think of Fantastic Four. Have you guys seen it? But be sure to like the page, comment down below what your thoughts are. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and on Threads at SeenScreenGuru for future updates and commentary. I'll probably be recording my bonus features all on TikTok. So if you guys want to follow me there, you can. Until next time, guys, thank you for supporting my channel all the way up to 83 subscribers. Woohoo! Alrighty. I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.